I'm Laura Nickel, Acting President of Alpha Mu Gamma, Boise State University's World Languages Honor Society. And it's time again not only to congratulate our latest round of inductees for their academic excellence, but also to express gratitude to our generous donors who make our scholarships possible. Many people these days have the tendency to ask, why should I bother learning a new language when I can just use Google Translate or any other of the various language apps available? Don't get me wrong, I'm a big believer in the use of AI. I use it all the time to look up new words and as a tool for brainstorming. But here's the thing. Learning a different language entails so much more than just learning new vocabulary and the correct verb tenses. It's also about gaining insight into the worldviews of the native speakers and learning about the nuances in different types of interpersonal relationships within that culture. And I emphasize that it's these very qualities that cannot be gleaned from AI. Being culturally literate in these nuances is what makes for successful deals and situations within the sphere of global business. Being knowledgeable about the mindset and social protocol of native speakers is not only the recipe for successful business and diplomatic relations, but there have definitely been and will continue to be situations where that knowledge can mean the difference between life and death. So with that in mind, authentic language study is a journey that takes time and dedication. And with AI as a partner in human learning, authentic intelligence must always be at the forefront of what the true purpose of language learning actually is, to develop genuine connections with people from cultures that are different from ours. I recently had the privilege of interviewing a Frenchman in our community, Olivier Bertin, and he's the Senior Director of Marketing at Thomas Cuisine in Meridian. He shared with me a little bit about his journey and his personal insights into the value of language learning. Following Olivier's testimony, we'll hear from our own formidable Chair of World Languages, Dr. Jason Herbeck. But first, let's hear from Olivier.
So my name is Olivier Bertin. I was born in France, and I came in this country. I was 25. My first job was actually working for a French furniture company. I was the import-export manager, and then I worked for a big food service company, and my job was to dealing with Quebec. So I was doing French proposal, English proposal. And now I'm working for Thomas Cuisine. It's been 4.5 years. I would encourage any student to learn a different language. It doesn't have to be French because I'm French, it could be Spanish and others. But it's not about the language, it's also about the culture and embracing that culture. And it comes to culture, it comes to food also. And I believe that learning a different language actually brings you more opportunities, allow you to travel and understand different culture and understand the way of life of people. So I would encourage anybody to learn a different language.
Herbeck. Hello there, I'm Laura Nickel, Acting President of Alpha Mu Gamma, Boise State University's World Languages Honor Society. And I'm here with Professor Jason Herbeck, Chair of the World Languages Department here at Boise State University. And I'm going to ask him a few questions. First of all, Professor Jason, in what ways do you think Boise State students' involvement in the Alpha Mu Gamma Honor Society can be beneficial to them?
Good question. First name, Alpha Mu Gamma was founded almost 100 years ago in 1931, and it's the first and largest national collegiate foreign language honor society. And that alone, I think when they put something like that on their transcript, on their CV, on their resume when they're applying to grad schools or for another job, it's going to stand out. And the cool thing about it is that the founders of the society wanted to recognize exceptional work in a language, a foreign language, including ASL in the United States. And so right off the bat, I think what students are able to show is that they've achieved excellence in their language studies, and I think that's a great thing. Another thing is, as a member of Alpha Mu Gamma, as long as they remain a student, they can apply for up to 6 different scholarships through Alpha Mu Gamma, depending on the languages that they speak.
Oh, excellent. So what I hear you saying is it's a great way for a language student to distinguish themselves on the job market, as well as earn opportunities to be awarded some excellent scholarships.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Over your time as chair, how would you describe the influence that donors of world language scholarships have had on student success?
I would say their influence has been felt on many different levels. first and foremost, for me as a chair and as a colleague, as someone working in this department, I know that my colleagues and I are very, very thankful for all of our donors, no matter what they give, because it sends a message to our students that there are people who value world languages and value learning world languages and want our students to have every means possible to do so.
Wow, I'm so glad for that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And we have some major donors who have given enough for there to be an annual amount to be given to certain scholarships. But there are also donors who give a little bit out of every paycheck. Some of our colleagues do that here in the department. There are people who give occasionally, here and there, when they can, to world languages programs or to a specific language. All of those different contributions help immensely because our students need help with their books, they need help with their tuition, making ends meet, and it shows. Once again, coming back to their CV, their resume, they can put this on their official record and say, listen, I received this scholarship from a donor in order to continue my education.
Fantastic. As we all know, getting an education is very expensive, so thank goodness for the generosity of our donors. So, with that in mind, where do you see the value of language studies for this current generation of students?
That would take a long time to answer. I think first and foremost, when people think about languages today, they think of AI, and they think of the newest application. I see them all the times on my Instagram feed. All you have to do is say what you want to say, and it comes straight out. And why would you need to spend all the time and energy learning another language? I think that more than ever before, we need people who can speak multiple languages, because with that gift comes the ability to better understand different cultures and to better communicate. And just today, I attended it's an annual conference put on by the ESL program, and they have students who are taking 101M, which is a multilingual section of our English 101 class here at the university. And those students tell stories, as well as some of the traditional 101 students, about their language journey in the context of writing, but also in the context of culture. And one student today gave a very, very heartwarming story about the country she had come from, which happened to be Korea, and how when her friends here would compliment her, she would immediately downplay the compliment and instead try to rise up her friends. And so it was deflecting what they were telling her was good about her and telling her friends that in fact they were doing something that was more important or better, etc.
That's a cultural difference, isn't it?
It's a huge cultural difference. And because this student was learning a new language and making incredible strides because her English was incredible, she was able to communicate that to the group today at the conference. And the cool thing about it was she realized she never once said the Americans do it better or the Koreans do it better. She said knowing the difference and knowing how these people come into a cultural conversation in different ways, their expectations, what they themselves will do, and I think that they should do in a particular circumstance, that is so valuable.
Absolutely.
Anywhere our students go. And so to come back to your question about why it's important today for students to be studying languages, it will literally help them in a communication where they need to seal a deal. I mean, they can't speak into their phone and say, this is what I want to say. Because what this student explained to us was that what she wanted to say was not what an American, for instance, would assume that she wanted to hear. And so knowing those cultural differences, learning the languages, it's a lot of sweat and tears. It's not easy to learn a language, but our students do an excellent job, and we have excellent educators, instructors in our classrooms. And I think that's what we need in society today, is students who are able to go out there and understand that negotiation is not simply saying it in English, it's understanding what people are hearing and how they're saying it.
Oh, absolutely. It's the art of understanding cultural nuances, differences, and you can't get that from AI.
Not at all. And I think the A, for me, the artificial nature of it, cannot be replaced by the human. And I think that's why the humanities in general, and world languages in particular, need to be a core part of every university curriculum.
AI has its place as a tool, as a companion in human thinking, but authentic intelligence is what we need, via the authentic learning of foreign languages.
And coming full circle back to Alpha Mu Gamma and our donors, I want to thank them, our donors, for recognizing that despite any gadget that might be on their phone, etc., we still need people who stand up for languages and support it, because our students do need help in these times with their education in terms of financing their courses. So we're very thankful.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Professor Jason.